we have to establish hundreds of thousands of neural connections. The neurons should get connected. There is a chemistry of learning and there is a biology of learning. Why should anyone learn? And how does anyone learn? So these are very important questions. Why should we learn? Why should any living thing learn? Give me a quick answer.
To use their needs.
Okay, I got so many answers. As part of growth, to have better living. It's for homeostasis. It's for getting adjusted. Now, there is no other way than learning when we are put into difficulties. We have to come out of it. So we have to learn. What was the first lesson learned? Pardon? I'm not talking about makeover. I'm talking about your life. We learned to cry. That was the first lesson. Because we wanted attention. Why we wanted attention? We came from the most comfortable atmosphere to most traumatic experience. And we have experienced the most traumatic and worst situation can never be experienced again. So the first lesson was the best lesson. Now coming back to the process. Learning for homeostasis. Now, every time when you put your children in this process, you have to remember that they need to feel genuine need to learn. Otherwise, learning is not natural. So that is where Mr. Shihabudin's suggestion of constructivistic approach is significant. Okay, again, Mr. Salim, where are you? Okay, quickly tell me what is homeostasis? Fine. I got a clear idea. That's an example. Maintaining the status of our body in a constant range, whether it is temperature or any aspect. And our body is constantly in struggle to maintain that steady state. And learning happens as part of it. Believe me, this is biologistic point of view. We learn to maintain steadiness of our brain. And how? There are two kinds of abstraction of knowledge. One is empirical abstraction. We learn from outside source. We read and learn. We see visuals, we learn. We listen to others, we learn. Empirical abstraction. Whatever others have constructed as knowledge and written down and labeled as knowledge, you take it and we take it. Empirical abstraction. There is another one. What is it? B.Ed lessons. I'm not talking anything new. Reflexive abstraction. Reflexive as abstraction. That's abstraction that's happening within our mind. That's what Shihabudin said, constructing knowledge. Now, we have in our mind specific schema, certain domains. It is not physical space, but a conceptual space in our brain, in our mind. Mind is nothing but functional brain. In our mind, there is a space, not physical, a conceptual space where we accommodate, we assimilate and accommodate knowledge. Now, we know something about almost everything. Whatever human beings came across, we have some knowledge, and they exist as schema, schemata, schema. And when we see something new, when we experience something new, we immediately relate this new experience to what is existing in our schema. This is how learning takes place. So when we relate to the existing knowledge, we cannot completely accommodate it. We are trying to assimilate, trying to connect, but it's not matching. Something is lacking in our schema to completely take it. So, what will our mind do? Mind will establish new connections. It will grow. This is what is called cognitive growth. Children grow in cognition by this process. So, we grow our schema. If you can imagine schema as a physical space, so about multimedia, you have this much of information, and as you learn more, your schema is gradually growing to accommodate new knowledge. And this is what is called constructing knowledge. So the reflexive abstraction is what is meant by constructing knowledge. And if you set the scene appropriately, children will learn better and faster. This is the theory. And that is the relevance, the importance of the atmosphere in the classroom and the stage you set for them to learn. Think how much justification we have in whatever we are doing in the classroom. We are supposed to set a stage to facilitate this process to happen, growth of schema, to accommodate the new information assimilated. And that will further widen the schema. Once you assimilate more and once you accommodate it, the schema will further widen. And you might have heard the spiral of knowing. Okay, the process is like this. It's a spiral. As it grows, it widens. About anything, any concept, when we learn, this phenomenon of growth happening, spiral of knowing, and it's outward. And there is no limit. As new knowledge is available, more and more construction of knowledge will happen in our mind, and our knowledge base will become rich. And our responsibility as teachers is to facilitate that growth or spiral of knowing. To make a scene where children feel the difficulty to assimilate information, and then once that happens, that ripples will make natural learning to happen, and they have to learn because their mind needs homeostasis. So thank you very much for giving me this extra time. Thank you.